get by. It resides between my eyes. Walk through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sand. And right now, I feel like 100 grand.
You are listening to Inspired Insider with your host, Dr. Jeremy Wise.
Dr. Jeremy Weiss here, founder of InspiredInsider.com, where I talk with inspirational entrepreneurs and leaders. Today is no different. I have Eitan Koter. Eitan, before I formally introduce you and Vimmi, I always like to point out other episodes of the podcast people should check out. Since this is it's kind of a part of 3 series, Eitan. It's e-commerce series, SaaS series, and Israel business series. Okay. And so in previous episodes, one of my favorites actually is Elon Gold and Jason Cement. I don't know if you know Elon Gold. He's an amazing comedian. He also makes fun of Israelis in a nice way with his accent. Very good accents. But it was a phenomenal episode. Check him out. He's one of my favorite comedians. And Jason Cement brought him on, who's an agency owner. And that was a good one. I had Maurice Navone of Mobileye. He's one of the founding engineers there. If you don't know Mobileye, the journey was ups and downs, but they were eventually acquired by Intel for $15.3 billion, which was amazing. And he talks about some of the bumps along the way, Eitan, of like going back to his kids and wife and be like, hey, we can't do any extracurriculars. We're pulling you out of, there's no more eating out. Like we're in a very lean phase. So even those companies have those phases. So it's interesting to hear his perspective on that. I had another Eitan, Hitayat on, and he talked about, building brands across different continents, and he helped release Google or Gmail in Africa. It was very interesting, and many, many more on InspiredInsider.com. So check those out. This episode is brought to you by Rise 25. Rise 25, we help businesses give to and connect to their dream relationships and partnerships. How do we do that? We do that by helping you run your podcast. We are an easy button for a company to launch and run a podcast. We do the strategy, the accountability, and then the full execution. So anytime we call ourselves the magic elves that run in the background to make it look easy for the host so they can create amazing content, create amazing relationships, most importantly, run their business. For me, the number one thing in my life is relationships. And I'm always looking at ways on how I can give to my best relationships. And I have found no better way over the past decade to profile the people and companies I most admire and share with the world what they're working on. So if you've thought about podcasting, you should. Eitan and his company have a podcast, which we'll talk about. If you have questions, you can email us, support@rise25.com, or go to rise25.com to learn more. I am excited to introduce Eitan Koter. He's the co-founder and co-CEO of Vimmi. Vimmi is a pioneering video commerce SaaS company offering multi-channel shoppable video and also live shopping solutions to brands and retailers. Now, he has over 2 decades of experience in startups and public companies, including leading a Nasdaq IPO. He's recognized thought leader in video, commerce, social commerce, digital marketing. As I mentioned before, he's the host of Mastering E-commerce Marketing podcast. And I think you renamed it to right? E-commerce Pulse, or
that's the new name. Yeah,
the new name. Yeah,
it used to call Ecom Pulse. Yeah,
Ecom Pulse. I got it. So we have Mastering E-commerce Marketing podcast. They've had some great content and guests on there. They share insights on digital experience, media, commerce with brands, retailers, and innovators. Eitan, thanks for joining me.
Oh, it was a great intro, Jeremy. It's a pleasure to be here. Looking forward.
Me too. I'm excited, and I'm going to pull up your site here for the video people, but just talk about Vimmi and what you do, and people could check it out on Vimmi, VIMMI.net.
Yeah, so Vimmi is a video commerce as a SaaS company. We're primarily a technology company with a variety of patents that helps brands, companies use video to sell and promote their products on almost every channel. The main idea is to work with video, which is such a powerful marketing vehicle or channel these days, and plenty of brands and companies are using video to grow organically. And the benefits of video is obviously creating a more meaningful, more emotional type of relationship between people. You mentioned about having great relationship, between us as human beings. Eventually, you want to buy for someone that you know, that you trust. And video is such a powerful way to do that. Video is obviously can be introduced and posted on the company's various social channels. And we actually enable social commerce in our platform. So in one dashboard, you can make videos shoppable, both live and non-live, post those videos on your own website with interactive video players that you can actually check out from the video player itself while watching the video. But you can also share and post those videos across multiple social channels and marketplaces just to enjoy the benefit of social commerce. We know how it's difficult it is to just acquire new customers to your own website. So why not deploy videos and product information across different channels that people are spending their time on, and also giving them the ability to check out. Now, all these different platforms are enabling various ways of making videos shoppable. Obviously, every environment, every community is different, but we implemented all those APIs into our platform, and it's in a very easy way. In one click, you can just create videos, associate them with product pages, post them on all the channels, and just enjoy the benefit of having the ability to sell across multiple channels.
And Eitan, we'll get into, for the e-commerce and retailers out there, how do you use Vimmi? How do you actually use Vimmi to increase sales? But I'm curious, talk about the evolution of Vimmi. And we were talking before we recorded product market fit. Now you really focus on e-commerce. You make it very easy for people. I mean, it's a relationship, and it's very much easier to form a relationship with video. And I know my kids, they'll watch, these videos on these social channels, and they'll want to buy the stuff. And so like I end up buying all this stuff. And speaking of, these brands should probably use Vimmi, because I had to click, we had to go search on Amazon or one of these other platforms. If it made it easy right there just to click on it, we could just buy it straight from the video. And a lot of people are like, this is cool, I want to do this. This particular thing was like a chocolate bar filled with like pistachio and something else. And I had to go kind of buy all this stuff elsewhere. But we'll come to that, how people use it, but talk about the evolution of Vimmi itself.
Yeah, I mean, we just celebrated last month 11 years for the company. Vimmi is a bootstrap company. We never raised funds, profitable and growing, and we need to do things in a very, I think, special way, just trying to analyze always what's happening in the market and how we can innovate. We started 11 years ago. There was no, video commerce or video. I mean, it was primarily used for media and entertainment type of use cases. So we worked with companies, primarily large mobile operators and large content providers, who wanted to launch kind of a Netflix-like service to their consumers. So helping them launch video services, online video services that they can monetize through a variety of subscription packages. And we still have variety of customers. It's a substantial part of our business, just helping those customers launch those services and introduce video services to their customers. But around 5 years ago, we saw something new that is happening specifically in China with the use of video for sales of products, primarily in a use case that is called today live shopping. Those sellers, this is the only thing that they do. It's their day job. So what they do, they just launch live video from their own studio at home through mobile phone and just streaming to various apps and websites and giving the ability for users to make a purchase. Now, this is like a mega industry in China, and it started to evolve in the Western world 4 or 5 years ago. And right now, it's a substantial part of large, enterprises, also mid-market and SMBs that are just using live video for the sales and even the promotion of their products, and giving users the ability to make a purchase, to communicate via chat, and to create this kind of an interactive experience that is very, very powerful. In addition, we also saw the growth of short form videos, primarily with TikTok, Instagram Reels that follows, and YouTube Shorts. And we know that these short form videos are very, very powerful, just creating this type of conversions. So obviously with TikTok Shop, and also with the ability to create conversions around Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube these days, gives us a lot of, for any company, a great tool to create content in a very authentic way. Doesn't require too much production value or post-production editing. Just be authentic, be consistent, and put yourself out there and differentiate yourself from your competition. It's a wonderful way to just break through the noise, because also their algorithms of all the social channels are favoring video. Just want those videos to be longer forms and more exciting videos, that the algorithm will just push these videos because it just keeps users in the platform for a much longer time. So we took our experience from big media and entertainment projects serving millions of users on our platforms, and we launched that video commerce business unit. And today we work with brands or retailers, enterprises who just want to use video in a much more meaningful way. Obviously, today, video is evolving so much. It's not just video creation through influencers or content creators or by the founders or the employees themselves. It's a lot of video that is being created by AI. And this is a lot of, this is part of our managed services type of solution and services that we provide as well, because a lot of people are afraid just to put themselves in front of the camera. It's probably one of the biggest objections that we get. We don't need to convince anyone that video works and it's a powerful marketing channel. But videos is more of a complex type of process, requires some planning, content ideas, production, and AI is just changing the game completely and just increasing throughput. You can create AI avatars of yourself today. You have those, text to video.
I had someone on Delphi.ai, and I interviewed his video clone avatar for 20 minutes.
Amazing.
Yeah, so it was pretty interesting. Totally.
Nice. Yeah, and it's going to, obviously, AI is such a big topic, right? But we are looking at some specific video related use cases, and you have like AI influencers today with millions of followers. I mean, things are moving very, very fast and evolving, but primarily we know that organic video, short form videos are working, and it's a great place to start for any brand. And eventually deploy those videos across multiple channels, just having this opportunity to get exposure to your products and create the right content just to make sure that users are getting more familiar with your brand, and just having this 80-20 ratio of just providing value most of the time. And once people know you, they feel more comfortable about you, they trust you, they're more open to get an offer from you.
Yeah. I'd love to hear, I know, why bootstrap?
Yeah, so it's a good one. I mean, this is my third startup. In the first one, I mean, we raised a lot of funds from VCs, right? And also, it's a company I took to, I was 30 and I did an IPO in Nasdaq. It was an amazing experience. That company eventually got acquired by a larger company. So
what type of company was that? What did they do?
It's the company called Scopus Video Networks. It was in the video compression thing. Remember, these are the days of broadcast.
So you always been in the video space.
Yeah, always. I'm in like 2 decades in the video. This song Hotel California by the Eagles, right? There is a line there that you can check out every time you like, but you can never leave, right? So it's the same. I mean, my first CEO in Scopus told me, hey, take another couple of days, think about it, because if you start working for us, there is no way for you to get out. You're going to just keep, working in the video industry for your entire career. And now I understood what he meant. I mean, it's evolving so fast. I started in video where we help companies just move from analog to digital video. And then we help companies do the transition from digital video to internet-based video and using the public internet for streaming video. And then today, every one of us just receiving this full HD 4K video on any screen, and we expect it to be, working smoothly. But it's so much technology involved that just make these things happen. And I saw that evolution. And obviously today video is like everywhere, right? It's in commerce. Video is like 82% or 83% of the worldwide internet traffic, right? According to Cisco. So it's a very powerful way of building a relationship, creating more of a kind of emotional experience. We are social creatures. And with the growth of AI and digital screens, we are looking for this human connection, and video is very powerful just to maintain this type of, let's say, feelings, right, which are very important in business.
So you raised money for that company. So why bootstrap this company?
Yeah, so
Because I could see you, okay, you're successful after 5, 6 years. You could probably raise money now if you wanted to.
Yeah, so we were very lucky at the get-go. So we identified an opportunity that, in 2013, that more and more companies are going to use video, specifically video streaming, for a variety of use cases. So we started to develop content delivery networks, monetization platform, backend, front-end tools, and we invested this from our own pockets. I have a co-founder. His name is Amnon Sheriff. We both still the owners and the managing partners of the company, and we manage the company day to day. And we thought that let's start and see. Anyhow, if you want to raise funds, even 15 years ago, you need to show some progress, right? Slides are not enough. You have to show some validation, some POCs you do, or some product market fit, like initial steps, just to get. VCs don't like to invest when there is a risk, right? They need to see good traction, and they're happy to support you for growth. So what happened was that so we went for like few exhibitions in the US and in Asia, and from each exhibition, it was in the same year. We got introduced to like 2 enterprise size opportunities. There are like 7 figures opportunities, and we bid as a new company. I mean, and we went to their labs. These are like B2B, very long sales cycles, like 6 months, 8 months, working on pre-sales, documentation, statement of works, project management. This is the style that, where I grew up with, and we won those 2 accounts, right? So we said, okay, we need to raise not funds, but we need to hire a lot of people. So we did that. I mean, we came from enterprise experience. We were managing public companies, so we knew what needs to be done in terms of operation, growth, execution. So for us, it was a great experience. And we said, hey, we're already.
What was the product like at that point? So was it still, did you tell them, hey, like we can do this, we're going to build this out? It's almost like raising funds from customers just paying you as opposed to raising from VCs.
I always like to give the example of a real estate or a real estate example. If you're a real estate entrepreneur, and so you buy a piece of land, right? And you go to an architect and he drafts an amazing diagrams from you, and like you can see the whole building like in 3D.
Like this is what you're getting. Totally.
Yeah. And you put a big sign and there's nothing there. It's just land, right? There's nothing there, but you can see the sign and you start selling those apartments, right? So we had the core technology that we've developed, right? For the last it was like 6-8 months that we already invested in R&D and developing without even having a company. And that main engine of video management, content preparation, streaming, that core technology was very, very innovative. It's still a patented technology that is quite unique that we maintained throughout all those years. But the scope of projects were larger than that. So we acquired another company because we had backup from these engagement. We could go to the bank to get loans, right? Just to maintain healthy cash flow, because we knew that this type of engagements are like multi-year engagements, minimum 3 years. By the way, we keep some of these accounts still today. Some of our accounts we work for like 8 years, 9 years, and they're happy customers and just renew the agreement with us for additional 2-3 years every time. And then you can maintain some kind of you can plan, right? You can plan a few years forward in terms of our projected income. And these are not like large enterprises, like, Fortune 500 enterprises. And we did a good job, I think, in the way we presented ourselves and probably showcased. We were very, very fast. And this is where, we believe a lot in this, I would say, narrow innovation, I can call it. Right, start for something very, very small, show that you make a difference, that it's a breakthrough, and then get customer feedback and iterate very, very fast. I mean, have internal processes that are very agile, flexible, get feedback and iterate, just provide the new features even on a daily basis that are actually required by those customers that you're working with, and grow your solution for these type of customers and be very, very focused in this approach instead of just spray and pray to a large category and hope that something sticks. So I believe a lot in just zero in, be like a laser focused on the type of customers you want to start working with. Show them something very, very small, not big, small, that makes a difference, and then grow from there. And just implementing this land and expand type of strategy. And if it's done right in a very focused way, you don't need a lot of customers to make substantial growth, right? And so we grew like 100, 50%, 100% every year with a very, very small amount of customers, because this is where we started. We started with enterprise, large customer that obviously we had the ability to use the profits just to create more products and develop products that are not fully attached to a specific customer that asks for them for these products. We always kept those developments as just licenses that we can, non-exclusive license that we can work with any type of customers without any limitation whatsoever. And that this helped us, launch our SaaS platform. And definitely it was what we did on the initial phase with online video platforms, and this is something that they do right now. I mean, right now you can go to the Vimmi website, you can create an account. You have a free for life account, but you can also grow, with paid plans if you need more capacities and abilities. So yeah, I mean, this is we knew that we can project cash flow, and we said, okay, let's bootstrap, because we knew that VC funds and external funding is great, but it has a lot of I would say headaches, right? And you're not controlling the company, and you have to invest all money in like 18, 20 months. Otherwise, you're not performing, and it's a big risk to take. And we took a not smaller, I would say a more focused approach, rather than try to win big, just grow more in a modest way, but do things in a high confidence and through high quality. And that's a different style of doing things. Quality of life is much better. That's for sure, Jeremy.
There's a couple of things I want to unpack there because a lot was jammed in there. One, pricing, I want to get back to. Oh, it's interesting when you go to Vimmi.net, okay, you can see there's actually a free plan, right? Which is obviously a big conscious decision to do that, because no matter if someone is free, I mean, it still costs you money on the back end. It still costs you, customer service. It still costs you everything for you to run these things. So I want to talk about pricing. I also want to talk about growth, growth through partnerships. So I do want to touch on that, because in this e-commerce world, and possibly Delphi may be a partner for you. Who knows? I'll introduce you to Dara, but like Dara's the one I interviewed as video clone, actually, and that'd be maybe interesting. So I do want to hit on partnerships, but you said something about, your co-founder, right? And growing this team, and you had experience doing this. So I want to talk about the evolution of the team first. How did you meet your co-founder?
Oh, that's also a nice story. Probably Wix, right? As a website builder. So both of us went to meeting at Wix. I had a company in the video space, and also my co-founder also had a company in the video space, and we were like in the same phase of our career evolution, and we were introduced by a VP in Wix that said, okay, well, maybe you two need to talk, right? So we were in the same, we felt that joining the company, so Vimmi is a merger of two companies, right? The merger happened in 2014. And it was my company, my co-founder company. And we said, okay, let's join forces. So we shared R&D, we shared support, sales, all the customers, and it was much more powerful proposition. Technology is important, and because we went for this large enterprise focused initially, then in order to implement land and expand, you need to gradually, in a very, let's say, smart way, expand the capabilities and the functionalities of the platform, because these are really fully integrated platforms that are really connected to a lot of different customer platforms, to their billing system, to their customer support system, to their finance system. I mean, each one of our customers, we have customers that probably hundreds of people are just engaging with the platform every day. Okay, like various stakeholders from different companies, so from different departments. Again, in those large enterprises, and when you well, this is working already. You hear a lot of, and you do these daily calls to the customer. You hear new demands, and you say, "Fine, yeah, we can do that." So some of that we do by internal development, some of that we do through acquisition, some of that we do through partnerships, right? And that's this is why we introduce and we focus a lot on partnerships, not just for go to market, but also for the backend side of things, just making sure we implement solutions that we can provide to customers. And we know today that SaaS is really not enough to succeed, right? And definitely in the AI stage, the ability to do one thing that is really, really unique for a longer time is no longer something that we enjoyed probably 20 years ago. 20 years ago, we would launch product. We knew that product is going to be sold for at least 5 to 7 years. The same product, right? But it's not the case anymore. Maybe it's 5 to 6 to 7 months today, or even weeks. Now, the way
you have to be constantly innovating.
Yeah, what we did, constantly innovative on tech functionalities, but also on services and managed services. We are in an era today of companies looking at their operational efficiencies, more focus on profitability. Just all that fractional CXO is like on the rise, right? Trying to work with more external agencies or external service providers instead of hiring. And we know that all the companies are reducing headcount, definitely because of AI and all those focus on just eliminating those business units or those tasks that are not contributing directly to profits. And they're happy to give you a lot of tasks if you take a more done-for-you role within this. So this is a change that we are experiencing over the last year or so. And we're working now on revamping their entire website just to move to a more video commerce as a service type of proposition, just providing all these type of managed services on top of the a huge amount of technology that we have. And these services are ranging from just doing this video transformation, helping existing companies do the migration to a more of a video-based type of approach, helping companies with social commerce, definitely all the AI-related opportunities. Okay, so definitely like AI content creation, AI, video chatbot, shopping assistants, AI avatars, as you mentioned before, and go to a more managed service because this is something that the market demands. So like we hear a lot from customers, hey, this is great. We would love to do that, but we don't know where to start. I mean, we don't have any resources. Please, here is the marketing budget that we have. Can you do something with it? And we are becoming like an extension of our customers in terms of sales platform, sales acceleration services, let's say, and just helping them deploy their products, goods, like all over the place in terms of their various marketplaces, social networks, publishers, and just helping them sell all over because they're struggling to acquire new customers, struggling with retention. They're looking for more ways to innovate. They do understand they need to try a lot of things, as we talked about iteration, being agile, and just move fast, break things, kill things that are not working, and try to evaluate what's working or what's not. And this is probably increasing the use of how do you analyze data, how do you work with analytics, and create the right attribution for the various tasks that you do. And this is a lot of things that you can do on the Vimmi platform today.
Yeah, it sounds like there's a white glove component to it. Someone may come. I mean, obviously there's a software and you're powering these things, but it also just makes it easier for onboarding and also makes it stickier because okay, if we get them up and running, then they could just use it and they'll always be a customer because they're getting sales through the platform. So we just need to get them up and running and help them through that. So as there is a self-serve, there is also, hey, like, let us help you get this up and running and working and things like that. I remember I had the founder of Acuity Scheduling on Gavin, and he knew like the blockage points of like when people would churn. Like if they didn't do these things, they'd churn. If they didn't do these three things, then they churn at this point. And so
Yep.
his goal was just to, okay, fix those little blockage points along the journey. Eventually he sold to Squarespace, which was interesting. But yeah,
Yes.
he was like amazing at finding those things and putting those processes in place
Yes.
there.
I think we are in a specific time that right now in the SaaS evolution that we are reaching this saturation phase. There is a SaaS fatigue all over, right? And I know that what I see and what I hear that a lot of companies are investing not in finding new SaaS, but just eliminating a lot of SaaS tools that they have internally. They don't know what type of tools they are using because they just create all these subscriptions for the last 3 5 years, and they just want to eliminate everything. And this is an opportunity also again for the big companies to become bigger because just to acquire more startups and more SaaS, just to include that with additional functionalities. So if you have a Slack or if you have a whatever some kind of a workflow platform like a Monday.com, whatever,
Yeah.
this platform will increase in terms of their functionalities and the ability to do things. It's easier for anyone because you already have the subscription with them. Increase it in a few dollars rather than just evaluating a new startup and start the whole process. No one has time for that. So this is why this is also influencing the decision, and it's something that needs to be well understood, by a lot of SaaS companies out there.
Eitan, talk about the kind of the evolution of the team for a second. So it's the two of you, you merge and then you've grown. What does the evolution of the team look like when we kind of fast forward from start
Yeah.
till now?
I mean, for us, it's working very fast. I mean, we have a clear demarcation between what Amnon, my co-founder, is doing, and what to me, Amnon is just more on the R&D, operation side of things, or more on the marketing, sales, finance. So this is foundational. It's very, very important just to maintain this. It's a very healthy process because there are no conflicts, so there's nothing. Everyone is just responsible for his job, and there is a lot of confidence that things are being done in the right way. And then we analyze what we want to do in terms of planning, primarily R&D, marketing, right? These are the major cash cows, right, of funds. And then we analyze how it looks like in terms of cash flow for the next 12 months. And we definitely in the first years, we just injected all this money 100% back to all these efforts. And primarily these investments are 90% of that cost is to just increase staff, right? So we can discuss department by department, but in the early days,
Yeah, talk about the department. I'm curious.
yeah,
Like
like
obviously,
R&D in the initial, like 10 years ago, it was okay. We need to find the best Python engineer and we need to find the best C++. I mean, no one talks about this language. This language is gone today, right? So who has the best experience to work with ChatGPT to create code, right? So that's the primary criteria. And we are not allowing teams in R&D that are not working with ChatGPT or many other tools just for creating code, right? And it was a process. Initially, they were like not sure, but they figured out quite quickly that this is a fundamental way of doing things today. In parallel, there was a huge investment that we didn't plan in all the DevOps, SRE, all these type of, let's call them IT or implementation engineers that are more responsible for managing, cloud resources, implementing stuff, on our SaaS, just making sure that on the lower levels of the engineering layers of the infrastructure, these things are working very well, implementing those processes of moving from staging to production in a very professional way and just testing in QA. These are the most expensive resources, for any company these days, right? So, and then probably 3 years ago, data, right? Everyone talks about data analytics. So you need to have this. We've launched this data science team, right? So you hire PhDs and try to hire those data engineers that are helping to analyze data, enrich data, create segmentation of the data, and come up with recommendation. And then recommendation is machine learning, AI, and then analyzing the models out there and what can be used to create smarter decisions in terms of content recommendation, product recommendation, variety of business KPIs that are important for our customers that makes a difference for them, how to use the data, how to collect the data, enrich it, and take smarter decision around primarily recommendation of variety of things, right? So this was the evolution on that side of things. And as we grew as a company, more resources towards 24/7, type of support, bug fixes, help desk. And we are, as a bootstrap, the first thing that we are looking for, are we going to hire or are we going to implement AI for that, right? So for everything, for chatbots, for support, for 24/7 knock that we have, right? We have big knock with screen just monitoring videos all over the world, so our millions of users are watching videos, and there are people just uploading content and stream content from anywhere. So you need to make sure that on the engineering level this thing is working, right? It's not just an application that enable you to do something. There are bits moving from one side of the world to the other, and they move in high capacity and high volume. You need to make sure that everything is smooth, working, and it's kind of that layer of they call it layer one in the engineering or IT side of things. It needs to work and perform. So definitely things are being done in a more efficient way. Now, in the marketing side, as you know, eventually for a growth company, marketing is the largest item in terms of budget and the P&L of every company. Mostly you hit a point where marketing is like double the cost of R&D because you want to just use and exploit those opportunities all over the world. And for us, as a bootstrap company, you don't have that kind of budget for marketing, right? You have a budget for R&D, for supporting customers, custom support, but marketing, you need to be very, very smart. So this is where we launch our partnership, our indirect type of go-to-market, which is very, very powerful because it gives you the ability first to learn a lot about the market. And we have two types of partners, technology partners and business partners. Technology partners are like Shopify, like Fourth Wall, like various companies that are providing, let's say, e-commerce services or related software or a SaaS solution to businesses or to creators or to different type of customers. And they require some kind of a video solution for Vimmi just to complement their entire solution. So Shopify were on the marketplace. With other companies, we did like a deep integration that we are in the in their internal backend or dashboard or console, let's say. And these are the technology implementation that we did, and it usually works around them introducing us to customers, opening accounts in Vimmi, and obviously there is a kind of a revenue share engagements between us and them. Business partners are primarily agencies like marketing agencies, e-commerce agencies, variety of business partners that are just promoting our stuff to their prospective customers. But and in parallel, we have the direct approach primarily to large enterprises. So that's our let's say our go-to-market right now, which is very, very focused. It's not we're not doing PPC, we're not doing any advertising. It's really working hard with the internal team about leveraging the existing relationship we have with our partners and with our customers, and just trying to work very smart through organic content like LinkedIn and through variety of industry experts and consultants that we are always communicating and even engaging with some of them just to introduce us to more and more enterprise style of opportunities. And this kind of a holistic go-to-market works for us very, very well.
So, Eitan, we're looking here at the partner page, right? So we're vimmi.net/partner. From the technology side, if someone has a platform, they can kind of integrate Vimmi into it, like Shopify, WooCommerce, and
exactly.
We see any website, Wix, Google Merchant. And on the business side, e-commerce agencies, I could see that benefits them. It also benefits you because they could have a new product they can offer clients and
Yes.
also boost their revenue. So e-commerce agent, I've had a number of e-commerce agencies on the podcast for sure,
Mm.
and I can see how they'd be like, yeah, like this is another stream that we can help our clients. Obviously, they charge for that, right? And so they can manage it, hopefully making your job, the customer support job at Vimmi a little easier because they can manage 10,
Yes.
20, 50, 100 clients on the
Hmm.
platform for that client. So are there any other ideal partners that like from on the business side? So like obviously e-commerce agencies, is that the main one, or are there any other type of
No,
uh
as I said, it's a
yeah,
mix of, I mean, technology partners, it's an ongoing work. I mean, like every
yeah,
week we are working on making those integrations just to make life easy for their
yeah,
customers, just to click a button and do this OAuth, with our platform. So this is something very, very quick. It's a very structured process. Those API documentations are available, and any technology company can quickly do the integration. And we see demand like from various sectors, not just e-commerce site builders, but also creators platform, influencer marketing platforms. I mean, variety of categories that are just we are being introduced to more and more categories that find our solution interesting. So we see a big growth over there. In terms of the other side of the things, more agencies, more marketing agencies, more businesses that are like agencies that are. We are just a complementary solution for them. Also, for them, just providing service, they realize that there must be a technology component, both for improving margins, but also for probably improving valuations of the things that they do, right? And just to help customers. And also, the trigger for them is just making just launch this kind of a recurring revenue streams, right? When with the agency you have like a projects maybe, and it's very limited in time, but with SaaS and technology, it's just keep going on and on. And this is another revolution of the agencies out there that are starting to use software as a service to work to just as an additional revenue stream and delivery to their customers.
yeah. That brings me to the pricing part, right? So I remember I had the Jotform founder on, and they have a free plan, and I mean it costs money, obviously, to do that.
Yeah.
Talk about the decision for free and like in the pricing here, right? Because I'm
Yes.
sure a lot of time went into this.
Yeah, so the free forever plan is obviously costing us money, but it's a marketing expense. This is how we look at it, right? And obviously you have a bunch of paying customers and free customers, and paying customers are the profits or the gross margin is should be fine or should be enough just to finance those marketing expenses on the free plan. We are now being asked because we are starting to serve more and more categories in the industry. So this is a pricing that we thought about might be relevant for a mid-market customer, but we were introduced through our technology partners to more of I would say, let's say small businesses or even solopreneurs like content creators. I mean, they are paying for the entire e-commerce, probably $20, $30, and they're expecting the video solution to be something on that volume. So we are launching also at an SMB pricing to support that. And of
Hmm.
course, on top of this pricing, we have the enterprise which is usually a custom um, um, proposal. We need to go into some kind of a discovery session. Some of the discovery sessions are taking longer time, which is fine because there are a lot of things that needs to be defined. And in some of those opportunities, we also um, provided the entire e-commerce platform itself, right? Vimmi is also a Shopify and Adobe partners and also Salesforce. And some of these opportunities, we also provided this entire store itself, including the video side. And even we built marketplaces, right? Also, so this is another thing that we're very proud of, that we're able just to evolve. And this is something we do on the pull mode, and we don't do it on a push mode. So, right, through discovery, we said, hey, we can build this Shopify for you, or we can build this Magento for you. So, yeah, we can do that. Let's just throw it into the subscription, and it's fine. It's ready, and let's go. So it makes life easy for customers. And this is an evolution of having all this discussion, with these enterprise customers, which are more kind of a custom made implementation, but anyhow, always using our SaaS, using our software as the same software that all the other markets is using.
Yeah. No, it's interesting because I could see, you know, if you're a product, someone wants to hook in someone, get them using it, and then if you be using it more and more, you find it more valuable, you have to pay. Like, so if you look at some of the features here, obviously, as you want to do more lives per month, you have to pay. If you want to do longer lives, you have to pay. If you want
Yes.
to go on more social media channels, you have to pay. But like
Mhm.
and also what's interesting I find is the views, right? Like if you have 50 concurrent viewers, you could still be free if you have 1,000 views. But
Yes.
if you have an influencer who's got like 1 million views on something, they're going to hit the free plan pretty quickly, but like
Yeah.
that's value because they're going to sell more. So great, you can
Yeah.
afford to pay if you have 1 million people watching this thing and a certain number of people buying it. So it's just interesting to go through to see the different plans and like how
Yes.
they progress here, you know?
Yeah, and the customer, I mean, we also have a variety of use cases. Like we have customer that has he wants like 4 lives per month, but he has 10 million visitors on his website in a month. So I mean, remember, we are the CDN, we are the content delivery network. We stream that content to a video player on the customer website, and we are responsible for that streaming. And we need to make sure that everything works. And some of these events have tens of thousands of concurrent users. These are like mega events, right? We need to make sure we are responsible for these events to work 24/7. And if
Right,
something fails and something not working, we need to
right.
uh, we need to fix it. So
All these things is interesting, Atom, because I'm sure at some point it's like, oh yeah, let's offer, I'm not saying this is the case, 3 lives, and like, oh God, this person did 3 lives, but we need to add views to this thing because we're
yes.
gonna lose our shirt.
Yeah.
So each of these lines was probably something happened. You're like, okay, we need to have a different tier for this. We weren't thinking of this.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
I
I mean, there are
do,
a lot of
yeah.
permutations, right, in the industry. We're very open to discuss this with
No, it makes
anybody.
sense. Yeah, it makes perfect
Yeah.
sense. Like things that cost you money and time and resources, like you have to charge for it. So, I do want to get to some of the content piece, right? And some of the mistakes people make as well, and use cases. Like you have some really good content, so I encourage people to check out Vimmi.net. Here we're in 5 shoppable TikTok video formats. I mean, this is not just TikTok, but any, right? We have product
Yeah.
demonstrations, unboxing, product reviews, influencer live streams, behind the scenes content. So I encourage people to check this out. But what are some of the mistakes you find that people are making with video?
The main mistake that people are doing is they just stop, right? It's a
They're not
second
doing
point.
it at all,
Stop.
you mean?
Yeah. Consistency is key. I mean, usually recommend to start with short form videos, create a list of customer pains, provide information about the industry, about trends, provide case studies, testimonials. And you can create a list of 50 content ideas, right? Just on top of your head if you concentrate for like 30 minutes. And just create content around that. No one cares about the background or the production value or the editing. You need to have good sound. Just showing yourself out there. That's it. Don't spend too much time on editing. Probably add captions and remove some, pauses and hums. And there are so many AI tools there that you can do that in one click. Okay, so some of my greatest successes, I spent like 10 minutes on this video. Just one shot on iPhone, 2 clicks on editing, and that's it. Posting all over, and it works in a very like a hockey stick way. It's not a gradual growth, right? And you can see you can spend a few weeks with not a lot of views, probably 10, 20, but suddenly one video will get you 50,000 views. And then 1 month later, you get 100,000 views. And this is the way it works. It works like a hockey stick. Don't spend too much time analyzing initially the data. Just focus on consistency and authenticity, showing yourself out there. What works the best today is founder-led content or employee-generated content. Don't spend too much money on influencers or content creators. Just do it by yourself. And if you're afraid of camera, or find someone in the organization who is happy to do that. Even incentivize him, giving some bonuses of making actual sales from these type of activities. And today, of course, you can clone yourself to an AI avatar, and through text you can create videos, right? And no one knows about it. So that's another tip, like a pro tip, right? And again, many tools out there that you can do. They can do that for you.
No, I love that you said that because I tell that people all the time. Just do it. They're worried about the video like all this stuff. I'm like, just go out and start doing it. You'll get better as you do it. And it is consistency and authenticity. And I mean, the
That's
videos
it.
I did, the podcast
Yeah.
interviews I did 15 years ago, when I look at it, I'm like, oh my God, that's terrible. But like, it was fine. You know, it actually was just authentic. And it, you know, I find, and you probably find this too with influencer videos, some of the ones that pull better when they just flip on their phone and record, as opposed to like a professional video shoot, because people can sense, oh, you just flipped on your phone, you don't have your hair and makeup done, and it's believable,
Yeah.
you know. Last question, Eitan, is some of your favorite episodes in your podcast here.
In my podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, so many.
I see Martin Greif. I've had him on too. He's a good one. Who are some of the favorites
Yeah,
on the
Samir,
podcast?
you know Samir. So it was so I mean this episode with Teresa Zimmerman, right? Talking about how to navigate retail challenges and I mean retail is so important. Like brick and mortar is 80% of overall retail in the US, right? Still 80% of the business is done offline. So plenty of opportunities over there, and definitely for omnichannel. Yeah, I mean I love all the episodes. It's very difficult for me to. We try to work very hard to try to qualify and onboard probably the best, experts in their respective niche. So
First of all, Eitan would be the first one to thank you. Everyone, thanks for sharing your journey, your stories. Everyone can check out Vimmi, vimmi.net to learn more, and we'll see everyone next time. Eitan, thanks so much.
thank you so much, Jeremy. It was a pleasure.
What I got, you can't buy. It resides between my eyes. Walked through the fire, came out better on the other side. See, life's like a beach if you find the sailing right now. I'm feeling like 100 grand.